My beloved child, listen carefully. This is not just another message. This is your moment of divine interruption. You've come to the edge of something holy, a line drawn by my own hand between who you were and who you are about to become. The season behind you has ended. The waiting is over. What I am about to release will redefine your destiny. Do not scroll, do not delay. I am speaking now to the part of you that still questions if it's too late, too broken, too far gone. I have called you into a shift that cannot be reversed, a transformation so deep it will rewrite your legacy. Watch until the end, because by the time this word finishes, you won't just feel changed, you will be changed. The gates are open. The moment is here. Don't miss it. You are now standing at the final threshold of a journey marked by silent battles, painful growth, and deep endurance. You have touched the very end of the old season in order to prepare for an entirely new beginning that I myself have orchestrated for you. In the dim light of the coming new moon, I have appointed an irreversible turning point for your life. Starting tomorrow, you will no longer be the same person, bound by old limits, old fears, and old burdens. What is about to take place is not merely a shift in your scenery or circumstances. It is a complete restructuring of your soul at its very core. I will not only change the way you walk, but I will transform the very places your feet are destined to go. I will not simply transition you into a new phase. I will elevate you into a higher realm, where old definitions no longer have power to contain or confine you, my child. In this life, everyone experiences change, but there is a kind of transformation that does not originate from people, nor is it shaped by circumstance. It comes directly from my hand, and the change you are about to step into is of that kind. This is not a recycled season. This is not the return of some karmic wheel. This is the birth of a destiny newly written from the courts of heaven. I am not bringing you into another cycle. I am breaking every cycle that has ever held you captive. What you once called familiar will begin to fade. Relationships that no longer align with the glory I have placed within you will dissolve on their own. The fears that used to grip you will no longer hold power over you. Do not try to cling to what is already passing away, or it cannot enter the land I am preparing to give you. Just as new wine cannot be poured into old wineskins, the new glory I am releasing cannot reside in a heart still clinging to the former season. You must allow me to cleanse the altar of your heart so I may fill it with something new, something pure, something more whole than ever before. This transformation, my beloved, is not a gentle breeze brushing across the fields of time. It is a mighty storm from heaven, sweeping away all that did not originate in me. Yet in the midst of this storm, you will not be swept away. On the contrary, you will stand firm, for I have planted your roots deep in holy ground. You will not collapse, you will rise. And in that very moment, everything that once seemed to be an ending will become the birthplace of the kingdom I am building through you. Do you see it now? I am not merely turning a page to continue the same old story. I am rewriting the entire book. The chapters once written in rejection, sorrow, and misunderstanding, I am erasing them from your spiritual archive. With my very own hand, I am etching a new chapter where you are no longer the one who flees, but the one who is sent. No longer the one hidden behind wounds, but the one who declares healing. No longer the one waiting for a miracle, but the miracle itself, walking, breathing, shining in the midst of ordinary days. But my child, with this great transformation comes a sobering reminder, for there will be things that must fall away. There will be people who must depart. There will be paths you once believed were right that I will now close forever. And that may cause your heart to ache. You may find yourself asking, why is everything turning upside down? But remember this, you are not losing. You are being refined. You are not being rejected. You are being reselected for a greater mission. What I am removing are the very things that, if allowed to remain, would prevent you from soaring on the wings I am now giving you. I need you to be as gentle as a feather resting in the hands of the Holy Spirit, unhindered by doubt, unbound by unhealthy emotions, and no longer dependent on human validation. I desire for you to be so attuned that even the faintest whisper from me would not go unnoticed. For in this new season, you will no longer follow old light. You will walk in daily, hourly, moment-by-moment guidance that flows from the deep wells of my spirit within you. My beloved child, prepare your heart. Ready yourself like a bride awaiting her bridegroom. Let go of all that is small, of every old mindset that once made you question your calling. Allow me to remove the garments of mourning and clothe you in garments of glory. The time has come for you to step out of the shadows of spiritual weariness and into the radiant light of divine purpose. You shall no longer walk like one groping through the night, but like a warrior, fully equipped, anointed, and sent forth with authority from my throne. Beginning tomorrow, the signs will become clearer. You will witness doors opening that you once found impossible to push. You will see people drawn to you, not for personal gain, but because of a shared heavenly calling. You will find prophecies, dreams, and spiritual impressions within you suddenly sharpened, because I am granting you a new vision, not merely to see, but to enter. I do not only speak, I guide. I do not only open your eyes, I clear the path ahead. My beloved, something new is being poured out from heaven into your life at this very moment. A renewal that is not born from personal effort, not based on past achievements, and not confined by former failures. It comes from me, the one who has seen every silent tear fall, who has held you through every dark night, and who has never ceased to hope for the day you would rise again. Today, I come to declare a truth that cannot be denied. You are no longer bound by your past, no longer chained by regret, and no longer bowed down by what did not happen the way you expected. I am breaking every chain that once convinced you that you were unworthy, that you missed your moment, that you lost your final chance. No, my child, the final chance was never in your hands. It has always been in mine. And when I say the time has come, then all that was closed must open, and all that seemed dead must come to life. In this very moment, I am declaring complete freedom over your soul. Not a partial freedom, not a fleeting relief, but a profound deliverance from the root, from the depth, from the innermost layers of your being that only I can reach. Every old lie that ever whispered into your heart, you are not enough, or you have failed, must now fall silent before the authoritative word of the Creator. And this is what I declare. Your freedom is not the result of your striving. It is the gift I have given. No power in heaven or on earth can stop what I have ordained. Do you hear it? Nothing of the old can remain where my light is reigning. No former thought pattern can survive within a heart that is entering into covenant with heaven. Today I establish a covenant with you. A covenant not written in ink, but in blood. A covenant not sealed by condition, but by eternal love. A covenant not to bind you, but to set you free. And within that covenant, I declare, from this moment on, everything will change. Not just the circumstances around you, but a revolution deep within your soul. The walls that once enclosed your mind, walls that limited your vision and kept you bound in fear and doubt, will come crashing down. The silent curses in your bloodline will lose their grip. Relationships not born of me will be purified. Even the way you see yourself, distorted by pain, rejection, and the harsh voices of the past, will be healed and replaced with the loving gaze of your Father. You will see yourself through my eyes, no longer as the wounded child trying to please the world, no longer as the weary warrior fighting to reclaim what was lost, but as an heir, one chosen to walk in a destiny prepared before the foundations of the world. And in this covenant, there is not only promise, but protection. Not only encouragement, but divine equipping. I will not merely point out the way, I will strengthen you to walk upon it, even when the path is steep or hidden in mist. My child, do not be surprised when everything around you begins to tremble. For when a new covenant is established, all that does not align with it must either change or be removed. Those who once stood close, but were never truly joined in spirit, will begin to drift away. Doors you once thought were your salvation will shut. But do not be dismayed, for in that very hour you will behold the gates of my kingdom opening before you. You will hear my voice calling to you in the quiet of the night. You will perceive strange signs, not to frighten you, but to awaken your spirit to know this is the hour my voice speaks. The thoughts that used to rule your mind, the patterns that convinced you that you must do everything alone, that your worth must be proven by works, will be erased. I am teaching you a new rhythm, a rhythm of grace, where every step you take is no longer weighed down by the pressure to redeem yourself, but is lifted by my sustaining hand. And you will realize that you no longer have to strive to be worthy. You simply need to surrender, for your worth is not found in what you do, but in my love that never ceases to pour out over you. Beloved child, the transformation I am bringing is not a fresh coat of paint over something old, but a complete rebuilding from the foundation up. I am not renovating an old house. I am constructing a new temple, and that temple is you. Within that place, there will be no more shame, no more room for fear, no more shadows of the past. It will be a dwelling of my presence, a sanctuary for my name, and a lighthouse from which my glory will shine to touch many others still waiting to be set free. Today I have not come merely to dry your tears. I have come to give you new eyes, eyes that are no longer clouded by old wounds, no longer warped by the rejection you've endured, no longer limited by what your natural sight can perceive. I am placing within your soul a pair of spiritual eyes, eyes forged through tears and honed in the quiet hours of prayer, eyes that can discern what others overlook, eyes that do not stop at what is visible but perceive the signs of the heavenly realm. I am also renewing your heart, a heart no longer burdened by invisible weights, no longer fearful of being hurt, and no longer hardened by repeated pain. I am restoring the deepest chambers of your emotions so that you may sense me vividly, so that every beat of your heart may resonate with the whisper of heaven. You will no longer love with hesitation, no longer pray with uncertainty, no longer walk forward with feet bleeding from shattered hopes. The new heart I give you will beat in rhythm with my love, will feel the pain of others, and will choose forgiveness even when no one else dares to. And I am also giving you a new spirit, a spirit that is awakened, discerning, and filled with light. No longer will you live in the haze of confusion, unsure of what is from me and what is not. From now on, you will be guided by a clear and unmistakable voice, one that will not be drowned out by the noise of a chaotic world. You will no longer grope your way through the shadows. I am awakening a river within your spirit, a river of spiritual understanding, of strong discernment, and of boldness to walk in truth, even when that truth sets you apart in the eyes of others. My child, I have been with you in the moments that seemed the most silent, when you cried in secret, when you knelt in an empty room and felt as though your prayers vanished into the void. I heard every whisper. I never turned my back when you called out to me. I saw the sleepless nights, the days when you kept walking even as your heart was filled with doubt. I saw every time you wanted to give up but chose to go on. I saw how you refused to turn back when others took the easy way, when they ignored my calling. Yet you remained faithful in the unseen places where no one clapped for your perseverance. That quiet faithfulness has shaken heaven. That steadfast silence has moved my heart deeply. And today, my beloved one, it is I, the Almighty, who stands to honor your faith. I have not forgotten a single tear you've ever shed for my name's sake. I have not overlooked the hard choices you made to follow righteousness, even when it cost you. The things you did in secret, I am now proclaiming in the light. Your prayers were never lost in the air. They rose like incense before my throne. And now the time has come for them to be answered. Understand this, my child. The reward I have prepared for you is unlike anything you've ever imagined. It does not come from man, and man cannot take it away. I am not only granting you blessing in this life, but I am bestowing upon you an eternal spiritual inheritance. What you receive today is merely the beginning of a river of blessings that will flow into the generations after you. For your faith has not only saved your own soul, but it has paved the way for many others who are searching for light in the midst of this chaotic world. I chose you not because you were better than anyone else, but because you held on to faith when everything seemed to fall apart. I chose you not because of your strength, but because in your weakness, you still chose to trust me. I chose you not because you are flawless, but because your heart remained tender to my correction. And today I establish you as a pillar in this time of shaking. You will be the one others look to for hope. You will be the living witness of my faithfulness, that I never break my promises, that I always come right on time, and that I never abandon those who belong to me. My beloved, the glory that is coming will far exceed what you have ever envisioned. But do not receive it as merely a gift. Carry it as a commission. For the light I ignite within you is not just for you. It is so that you may become a beacon in the night for others. Be ready to step into places you've never dared to go before. Be ready to speak words you never thought you'd be bold enough to say. Be ready to love even those who have wounded you, and to forgive even when your heart trembles. I will walk with you in every step of that journey. Do not be afraid when everything begins to shift. Do not be anxious when some people no longer understand you. They are not your enemies. They simply were not appointed to walk with you into this new season. You do not need to explain yourself to those who were never assigned the responsibility to understand you. I understand, I know, and I go before you. Keep your heart upright. Fix your eyes on me. Walk forward under the unceasing guidance of the Holy Spirit. What no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no heart has conceived, those are the very things I have prepared for you. So, my beloved, rise up in my name. Lift your head high as one who has been established, as one who no longer lives in the shadows of doubt. You have been called, anointed, and sent, not to seek attention, but to fulfill the will of the Father, not to do great things for your own glory, but to reveal my greatness through your life. I have prepared everything. Now, you only need to walk in obedience, with the new eyes I have given you, with the heart I have restored, and with the spirit I have set ablaze. My dear child, listen deeply to the sound of my voice echoing within your soul. For this moment you are living is no longer a season of vague waiting, no longer a time caught between light and shadow. This is the time when the spiritual field before you is beginning to stir. You are stepping into a harvest even you may not have realized you sowed. But I, the one who sees all things, have taken note of every quiet step of obedience, have heard every whispered prayer from the hidden corners of your life where no one else could reach. And I myself have been the one sowing seeds into grounds you once thought were barren. I have tilled the soil with my mercy, watered it with your silent tears, and now I am the one bringing those seeds to life. You may have thought you never did anything significant enough to deserve something great. Perhaps you've compared yourself to others and wondered, can my small life ever yield a harvest? But my child, I do not measure greatness as the world does. I look for faithfulness in the smallest things. I do not count your grand gestures. I remember every heartbeat offered to me, in every step of obedience, every temptation you turned away, every time you stood back up after falling. I saw it, and in those very moments, I planted wonders in places unseen by any other. Now the harvest has come. But I also want you to understand, the harvest may not arrive in the way you expect. There will be shaking, there will be storms that seem to threaten all you've built. But do not be afraid, for I do not allow any storm to pass through your life without carrying divine purpose. The tremors you feel are not meant to destroy you, but to awaken what has long been dormant within you. What looks like collapse is actually the old foundation being dismantled so that I may establish something new, stronger, more beautiful, and far more glorious. Do not panic when relationships begin to fracture, when old paths suddenly close, or when what you once clung to disappears. Do not be quick to label it as loss. Allow the Holy Spirit to teach you the difference between an ending sent by me and a loss brought about by man. Because, my child, not every breaking is a tragedy. There are ruptures I allow so that heaven's light can shine into the corners that have been veiled too long. And there are losses that are, in truth, liberations you never had the courage to ask for. What I am doing is not an act of demolition to punish or weaken you. I am not destroying your life. I am removing what no longer belongs to the destiny I have prepared for you. I am revealing the true beauty hidden beneath the rough layers of your experiences and past. Just like a potter tapping gently on a clay vessel to test its strength, I am using the shaking to expose where mending is needed, where renewal must take place, and where complete removal is necessary. But take heart. You are not in the hands of a destroyer. You are in the hands of the Creator, the only one who has always known your true shape since the beginning of time. You will witness a mystery unfold. When it seems that everything is being taken from you, it is actually the moment I am pouring out something new. When you can no longer strive or push forward, that is precisely when I pour fresh strength into you. And when everything appears scattered and broken, it is actually the very moment when the fragments of your destiny are being rearranged in a way you've never before understood. You will look back one day and realize that what you thought was an ending was truly a beginning. What seemed like punishment was actually preparation, and what felt like unbearable pain was in fact the very place where my greatest word was hidden. My beloved, I know the days ahead may seem daunting, but I am not asking you to understand everything. I am only asking you to keep walking with me. You don't need to figure out every step in advance. Just hold on to faith. I did not call you to then abandon you. I have gone ahead of you, and you will never be alone. Even if the path feels narrow or the winds blow against you, you will stand firm because your feet are not planted on shifting sands, but on my unfailing promises. Do not be afraid when you feel unprepared. It is I who equip you. I am placing into your hands tools you never realized you already possessed. The lessons from your past, the wounds you have endured, the times you chose forgiveness over retaliation, all of these are now weapons in your hands. You will not enter the harvest season empty-handed. You will enter it as one who has been trained by heaven itself. And the field before you will not bear fruit only for you, but it will become a blessing for many who are starving to be fed by your faithfulness. For the harvest you are entering is not merely for your receiving, it is the season in which you will become the giver. I will use you as a conduit, as a flowing river, as a once broken vessel now restored, carrying life to the dry and weary souls. And you will see that it is through the very cracks of that vessel that my light shines brightest. Are you willing, my child? Will you enter this harvest not as a bystander waiting to receive, but as one who has been commissioned? Will you dare to walk through the shaking without losing your peace? Will you trust that what I am dismantling is only to clear the path for something far more glorious? If your heart says yes, then step forward, even with trembling knees and lingering hesitation. Take this step, because every time your foot touches the ground, heaven is echoing with you. Every prayer you utter is being heard by angels, and every time you choose to keep believing, another wave of harvest is being activated. This is the hour in which I am shaking all that can be shaken, not to destroy, but to reveal what cannot be shaken. You are the harvest I have long awaited. You are the living proof of the power of obedience, of enduring faith, and of a heart that refuses to give up. My beloved, I know there have been seasons when you walked alone for too long, alone in faithfulness, alone in the calling, alone in making hard decisions no one else understood. There were moments you longed for a sincere word of encouragement, a pair of eyes that truly saw you, a hand that would hold yours without asking for an explanation. I have seen the weariness in your soul, the quiet ache of always being the strong one, of standing firm while inside your heart silently wished for someone to share the invisible weight. Today I speak this to you. That season is over. For now, I myself am calling forth from among the crowd those who have been divinely appointed to walk beside you. I am sending to you companions who are not meant to drain your energy, but to ignite and nurture the fire that is already burning within you. These are not people who will require you to prove yourself, to explain, or to choose your words carefully in order to be understood. No. They will recognize the spiritual voice within you from the very first encounter, because they carry the same current, the same spirit, the same divine calling that has been marked upon you from heaven. These are not connections born of random circumstance, but ones I have awakened from the depths of the earth, out of dry and barren seasons, for such a time as this, to walk with you in alignment. They will be voices that breathe life into the vision you've long carried in secret, visions that at times you thought were mere wishful dreams. I have heard your prayers. Lord, send me someone who truly understands what I carry. And now I answer that cry, not with vague promises, but with real presence, real relationships, real encounters, and spiritual bonds that no human force can sever. The ones I send will not merely be beside you. They will stand in the battle with you. They will know when silence is needed for your rest, and when their voice must rise to shield your dreams from the doubt of others. They will not diminish your uniqueness, but will see it as proof of a greater assignment. And they will love you not because of what you can do, but because they perceive the worth you carry in the unseen realm. I am weaving together relationships that do not begin with casual conversation, but are birthed in the depths of my spirit. These bonds will not be shaken by emotional turbulence, nor will they break under the pressure of minor trials. They are founded upon revelation, unity of purpose, and deep respect for the calling upon your life. This is not just friendship, it is kingdom collaboration. It is a divine partnership between those who fix their eyes on the same horizon and fight for something far beyond personal interest. My child, I know you've been hurt before by relationships that came at the wrong time or involved the wrong people. Some arrived and left, leaving behind a shadow of doubt in your heart about ever opening up again. But do not let old wounds keep you from what I am now making new. Do not shut the doors of your heart out of fear of being misunderstood or betrayed. I am not merely sending people who will understand you. I am healing you so you can also understand them. Because the journey ahead is no longer one of isolation. This is the season of unity. And it is only in unity that the greatest blessings are commanded to flow. Psalm 133, 1-3. I am not establishing partnerships simply to ease your burdens. I am creating them to activate what you could never accomplish alone. There are doors that will only open when two hands reach for them together. There are battles that can only be won when an intercessor stands by your side. There are purposes I've reserved not for the most qualified, but for those who learn to depend on one another in me. And you will see that what once took tears and solitary effort to begin will now be brought to completion swiftly through united hearts. The presence of those I send will also pull you out of your comfort zone. They will not allow you to settle into fear. They will call forth the best in you, even when you cannot see it yourself. They will remind you of my promises when you feel tempted to withdraw. And through them you will come to understand more deeply. I never intended for you to fight alone. The companionship I ordain always comes with growth, for every person joined to you will reflect a facet of me that you've not yet encountered. Open your heart, my child. Learn to trust again. Allow me the opportunity not only to work within you, but also to work through those I have placed beside you. Let me rewrite the story of connection, not with the bitter ink of your past, but with the ink of redemption, hope, and unconditional love. For one of the greatest miracles does not lie in outward signs and wonders, but in a soul healed enough to once again believe the simple truth. I am not alone, and you will see this unfold. When these divine connections come into your life, you will not have to strive to keep them. It will be my Spirit who binds soul to soul, purpose to purpose, calling to calling. Through this you will know it is not coincidence, it is destiny. It is a design woven from the beginning of time. This is the season where you will no longer stand alone on the battlefield, but will be surrounded by those who march to the same rhythm, those who do not flee when the storm comes, but take your hand and walk with you through it. Beloved, this divine collaboration I am initiating is not merely to lighten your burden. It is the evidence that I am preparing something far greater. For when the joints within my body are rightly aligned, I will pour out blessings beyond measure, and you will not only be a recipient but a vessel, one link in a spiritual network I am weaving across the earth, preparing for the glorious movement of my presence that is soon to come. So prepare your heart. Welcome those I send, not with the guardedness born from past wounds, but with the wisdom that is illuminated by my Spirit. And remember, not every connection is meant to stay forever, but those I plant beside you will remain, not because of fleeting emotions, but because they are rooted in my eternal purpose. My precious one, when I connect you with those I have appointed, you will witness something both mysterious and profound. The flame I have quietly kindled within you over the years will begin to blaze again. Not alone, not buried beneath doubt or weariness, but fueled by the very fire burning within those I send. You will look into their eyes and recognize that the life I placed in you is alive in them too. No lengthy speeches, no elaborate plans will be necessary. Just a look, a short word, a silent presence, and your spirit will be reignited, lifted, affirmed. Yes, this is what you have been waiting for. And then, when spirit meets spirit, when flames converge, a mighty wind from heaven will begin to blow. Together, you will begin to build what could never be built alone. For I did not create you to carry the weight of the vision in isolation, nor did I call you to bear a great mandate without help. What I placed inside you is only a part of a much larger picture. And now, the pieces are coming together. That which once felt fragmented, those ideas you dismissed as fleeting thoughts, those images you saw in dreams and deemed distant, will start to take shape, clear, tangible, more possible than ever before. Because now there will be others to carry it with you, to plan with you, and to fight beside you. They are not coming to seize control, but to take hold together with you of the mission I have etched into your heart. They are not coming to replace anything, but to bring completion. You will no longer have to struggle between maintaining your zeal and facing practical realities. They will lift your hands when you are weary. They will remind you of your original why when distractions cloud your view. They will protect your dreams through the faithfulness of their own hearts. This collaboration will not be born of contracts, but of a sacred covenant from my heart, a covenant between souls who have made me their center, people who are not building personal empires, but establishing my kingdom on the earth. You will see it clearly. The miracle is not found in thinking exactly alike, but in carrying the same heart, a heart that has been refined, that has endured seasons of solitude, that knows what it means to be broken, and that has chosen to rise again simply because it knew I was waiting at the end of the road. That is what makes your unity resilient, unshakable, and impervious to the storms that come from the outside. Together you will walk into territories that you could not have dared to enter on your own. Together you will witness gates that once remained tightly shut now swing wide open, not because you knocked harder, but because something divine is released when unity is matched with obedience. I will do things that surpass human logic. I will place words in your mouth, strategies in your hands, and confirmations in your spirit. Each of you will be a branch of the same river of grace, and when joined together, you will become an unstoppable waterfall of power and purpose. You once believed you were only a bearer of vision, but now you will see yourself as a transmitter, a fire starter, a divine connector. You will stand among those who speak the same spiritual language, not because they were trained in the same classroom, but because they were forged by the same spirit in the crucible of life. You will notice that they do not ask, "What will we gain?" but rather, "What does the Lord desire from this partnership?" And the moment that question echoes among you, that very moment will be when heaven begins to pour out its movement, like the first rains of a new season. I do not merely want you to build a work. I want you to build people, not just outcomes, but lives that reflect my glory. Because the mission I have called you to is not contained within a project plan, but rooted in the depth of love, in the strength of trust, and in the integrity of loyalty. Together you will not only fulfill a mandate, but you will become more like me with every step of the journey. Do not be surprised when old relationships begin to shift. Some people will no longer walk with you. Others will stop at the threshold of your full calling, but do not count that as a loss. They have completed their part in your story, and now I am writing a new chapter with new characters. Those who do not merely walk beside you, but walk with the same calling echoing in their bones. Are you ready? Ready to open your heart and let me enlarge your circle? Ready to believe that what you once only saw alone will now become reality through divine collaboration? Ready to step out of the familiar, to no longer do things the old way, but to let the Spirit show you how to build, how to share, how to delegate, and how to love. Because what is coming will no longer revolve around one individual, but will be the movement of a body joined together in divine alignment. What I pour out will not fall into sealed jars, but into open vessels, ready to receive, ready to give, and ready to overflow. And you will be astounded by the speed at which everything unfolds when true unity is led by me. So then, my child, rise up, prepare your heart, open your arms wide and hold fast to your faith, for I did not call you merely to begin, but to complete the journey. And now, as I bring into your life those who are partners in the Spirit, it is a sign to you that the appointed time has come. No more ambiguity, no more solitude, no more delay. This is the time to build, not something temporary, but something eternal. You will no longer just carry the vision, you will see it come to life alongside those I have chosen and with you yourself, the one I love and trust to the very end. My beloved, in this very hour when I am opening new gates before you, there is one profound truth you must engrave deeply into your spirit, a loving warning. You cannot step into the new season if your heart still clings to what has expired. You cannot receive something greater while your hands are still wrapped around the small things I am gently asking you to release. You cannot help me build the future if your mind is still entangled in chapters that have already reached their end. Child, the obedience I ask of you does not come from compulsion or control, but from the loving heart of a father who knows better than anyone else what leads to abundant life. I do not call you to let go in order to deprive you. I ask you to release so that I might place something more precious into your hands. I cannot bear to see you live your whole life settling for fragments just because they feel familiar. My love is too great to let you limit yourself that way. Do you remember how many times you cried out to me for a breakthrough, for a new season, for a release from the old patterns? This is the moment I am answering that prayer. But breakthrough never comes from within your comfort zone. It always requires a surrender. And most of what I ask is not external but internal. your attitudes, your memories, your relationships that seem good but secretly hinder you, your thought patterns that no longer glorify me. You may still be holding on to something that was once a blessing, but today it carries no more anointing. I do not turn good into bad, but I always lead you from good to glory. And to move from good to glory, you must let go. Child, clinging is the fruit of fear, but surrender is the evidence of faith. I have not called you to live in anxiety, but to walk in trust. And it is precisely when you release what you once called safe that you will begin to experience true protection from me. I am not asking you to walk into the darkness without light. I am speaking to you, guiding you, and have even arranged all things ahead of time. You are not stepping into the unknown. You are stepping into what I prepared for you before the foundation of the world. You are not heading toward uncertainty. You are moving toward the place where I, the one who formed you, have long awaited your arrival. There are things you must leave behind, not because they are wrong, but because they no longer belong to you. There are relationships that are not necessarily harmful, but no longer breathe life. There are dreams you once had that were true, but now I am calling you into a greater dream. Do not fear when I close a door, for every door I shut is an invitation for you to walk through another, a door engraved with your name by my own hand. I know that letting go is not easy. I know there are things that have intertwined so deeply with your journey that you no longer know who you are without them. But child, your true identity is not found in what you have done, what you have held, or what you have lost. Your true identity lies in the one who called you by name while you were still in your mother's womb. Every role, every season, every relationship may change, but your identity in me shall never be shaken. Trust me, my child. Trust that when I call you to let go, I am also calling myself to take full responsibility for the rest of your life. Lay down the past, whether it was filled with glory or brokenness, triumph or failure. Let go of anything that pulls your heart backward every time you try to move forward. Refuse to let fear drive you into compromise, for the calling upon your life is not ordinary. It demands unwavering commitment, a readiness to set sail without carrying the anchor of nostalgia. Will you dare to step into a land not yet drawn on any map? Will you say yes to what you cannot yet see, simply because you trust the one who leads you never makes a mistake? Will you dare to believe that sometimes what feels secure is actually the greatest hindrance between you and your true destiny? Do you have the courage to release what is good in order to grasp what is glorious? I say to you today, if you are willing to lay it down, I will lift you up. If you are ready to walk away from the old, I will bring you into the new. If you entrust it all to me, I will open gates for you that no one can shut. Not because you are capable, but because you believe. Not because you are strong, but because you lean on me. And when you do this, you will witness things you never imagined. You will walk in freedom, not because life becomes easy, but because your spirit will no longer be chained. You will begin to operate at a new level of anointing, discernment, and oneness with the Holy Spirit. What you once had to strive to maintain will begin to fall away, and what you thought you'd have to wait a lifetime for will come swiftly, not because you fought for it, but because you dared to release your grip. Look back, my child, and recognize this. I have never withdrawn my hand from you. From the very beginning until this day, every step has been covered by my presence. And if I was faithful in your past, would I abandon you now at the most crucial hour? No, my child. I am waiting for you ahead. I am waiting in the new land. I am waiting at the summit of your calling, where only those who let go can ascend. So do not cling to what has been as though it is the full story of your life. Do not allow what once seemed precious to become your chain. Walk forward with open hands. Let me continue writing the next chapters of your life, not with ink of regret, but with the pen of hope, of faith, and of an unfailing love that has never shifted. My beloved, I know what stirs within your heart. I see clearly the silent tremors in your mind, the uncertainties, the doubts, and the quiet confusion you're trying so hard to endure. I see that you're standing at the threshold between the old and the new, where the familiar begins to fade and the unseen is not yet fully revealed. But it is in this very moment, when you choose not to turn back, when you refuse to close your eyes and pretend, but instead open your heart with courage to embrace the shift, that you unlock a spiritual gateway unlike any you've known. Your willingness to accept this transformation is not a sign of resignation, but a mark of spiritual maturity. It reveals that you are no longer living by emotion or human reasoning alone, but stepping into a deeper dimension of faith, where you do not believe because you see, but you see because you believe. And I want you to understand, this change is never a sign of instability when it comes from my hand. It is a signal that I am drawing you deeper, into closer intimacy with me, into a relationship where you will hear the very rhythm of my heart and feel my presence in ways you never have before. My child, do not think that what you are losing is a sacrifice, for truly you are making space for something far greater. When you accept change, you are answering a divine invitation, not merely to follow me, but to walk alongside me. And in this companionship, you will begin to live not only for yourself, but as a living testimony of what happens when a life is wholly surrendered to the will of its creator. You will no longer merely speak of faith, you will become the embodiment of it. You will no longer simply recount miracles, you will walk in them. You will no longer only yearn for my presence, you will become the very vessel that carries it into dry places, into hearts long parched and weary for life. And I say to you today, with the fullness of my love and the authority of the one who created all things, the moment you have long awaited is drawing nearer than ever before. Prayers that once felt forgotten will begin to bloom. Dreams you penned in secret journals will begin to take shape. The things you whispered to me in tears will soon be declared openly, not to exalt you, but to exalt me, the faithful one. You will walk through doors you never even dared to imagine, not because you are qualified, but because my grace is more than enough. You will sit at spiritual banquets that once seemed reserved for others, while you only looked from afar. You will enter rooms, environments, realms of influence, and assignments that you once thought were for someone else. But now I have seen your heart. I have seen your quiet commitment, your uncelebrated faithfulness, your obedience that never sought the spotlight. And because of that, I have appointed you as the one chosen to step into a season of glory. But remember this, you do not carry my glory as a badge, but as a burning fire. It is not for display, it is for transformation. When I clothe you in my glory, the light will not remain hidden. You won't need to defend yourself, for that light will speak on your behalf. Those who once overlooked you will begin to ask what happened, and your life will answer without needing words. The Lord did it, and as you carry my glory fully, you will also carry the responsibility. I do not clothe anyone in the robe of glory without also placing upon them the towel of servanthood. I am deepening your spirit, not only so you can endure the attention of men, but so you can carry the weight of the calling. I am laying a firm foundation in you, so that you will not grow proud when blessed, nor lose heart when misunderstood. For from this day forward, you will no longer live for your own will. You will live as one who brings what was cultivated in secret in the open, a living sign that the God of heaven is still moving upon the earth. My beloved child, do you not know? Every shift you are embracing today is a step drawing you closer to the fullness of my will. I do not lead you only to abandon you mid-journey. I do not call you only to leave you adrift in the storm. Every shaking, every change, every closed door, every parting of relationships, none of it is beyond my sovereignty. And if you will keep walking, if you will keep trusting, if you will keep your heart tender before me, then soon you will look back and see it was all necessary. You will realize that loss was the doorway to increase, that silence was the stage being set for my voice, that waiting was never delay. It was preparation. And it is in those days that seem the least fruitful that I am doing my deepest work in your soul. So then, my child, do not resist the chain. Do not fear it. Do not cling to what I am gently unweaving from your life. Receive it as part of a divine invitation, an invitation to become one with me, to experience unshakable joy, to touch that which far exceeds the limits of the flesh. Walk forward as one who knows that ahead lies not just something new, but a new dimension of glory that I have prepared for you. My beloved, I now invite you into a sacred moment, a place where heaven meets earth, where prayer is joined with promise, where the tears you have sown begin to blossom into a harvest. Let your heart be wide open, like a field ready to receive the first rain of the season. Let your faith rise like waves crashing on the shore, strong, relentless, and unstoppable. For it is in this very hour that I am preparing to pour out upon your life a blessing of great depth, healing at the roots, abundance from an unfailing source, and peace that surpasses all human understanding. You have wrestled. You have wondered why the things you asked for have not yet arrived. But my child, I have never forgotten a single one of your prayers, even the sigh whispered in the night, even the silent tear that fell unnoticed. I have seen them all, and I have treasured them. Nothing that flows from your heart escapes mine. I have heard, I have seen, and more than anything, I have prepared. What you thought was delay was truly me taking time to craft the best, the most beautiful, the most unshakable blessing for you and for your lineage. So now, do not close your heart because of past disappointments. Do not let waiting shrink your faith. Stretch out your hands, not just in outward gesture, but with the posture of your soul. Receive with tenderness, with fearless trust, knowing that what I give does not come late. It comes at the precise moment when you are most ready to hold it. The blessing I am releasing over you is unlike anything the world can offer. It is not bound to material things, nor will it fade with time. This is a touch from heaven, a miracle born of my unchanging mercy. You will see your body healed, yes, but not just the body. Your mind, your emotions, even the memories you carry will be restored. You will witness prosperity come into your life, but not just in finances. It will overflow in every area, in relationships, in creativity, in obedience, and in joy. And you will dwell in peace, not a fragile peace that the world gives, but a divine peace that no storm can steal. Trust me, child, for I am not only the one who created the heavens and the earth, I am also the one who understands every beat of your heart. I am not distant. I am not silent. I am here, closer than you've ever known. I have walked every step with you, lifted you when you stumbled, and embraced you when you had no strength left to move. And now, as the appointed time has come, I do not merely want you to rise, I want you to soar. Receive this as a new covenant between you and me. A covenant that reaches beyond your life and into the generations to come. These blessings will flow from you to your children, like a river that never runs dry. They will reach your grandchildren as a holy inheritance, as seeds of grace sown into the soul of every generation that follows. You are not just living for today, you are shaping the destiny of an entire bloodline. And I myself will uphold it all with my mighty right hand. The bloodline flowing through you will no longer carry the stains of pain, failure, or brokenness. I am purifying it, renewing it, and transforming it into a stream saturated with forgiveness, anointed with oil and sealed with unshakable promises. You will witness the things that should have ended in the previous generation now be completely severed. The curses will not continue. The burdens will no longer be passed down. In their place, a river of blessing will flow, of divine preservation, and of a light that will never go out. My child, do not be surprised when your life begins to change in undeniable ways. Doors that seem permanently shut will begin to open. People you never dared to imagine encountering will begin to appear right on time. Prophecies that were once shelved will begin to breathe again. I am awakening the dreams that have lain dormant within you. I am calling forth the visions that were buried under fear or disappointment. I am restoring what you thought was lost, not merely as it was, but in a far greater and more glorious form. Beloved, listen deeply and let every word I speak be etched into your heart like an unshakable covenant. For I, your faithful God, am establishing a supernatural protection not only over your life, but over your entire family. It is a love stronger than death and a power that no force in heaven or on earth can stand against. You do not need to fear what is to come. You do not need to shrink back from the invisible threat swirling through this world. For I declare this: I am the shield that surrounds those who are mine, the fortress that cannot be penetrated. For those who place their full trust in me, rest in peace, for your family has been planted in holy ground, a place where my presence takes root, where my angels stand guard day and night, and where no power of darkness can break through. Though your natural eyes may not see it, I have stationed my heavenly armies around your household. They do not leave their post, they do not grow weary, they do not sleep. Every wall, every doorway, every pathway within your home has been anointed with my presence. Do not let fear deceive you for even a moment longer. But the truth is this: no scheme of the enemy can pass beyond my permission. And if I do not permit it, then not even a single hair on anyone in your household can be touched. You have worried about your children. I know you've stayed awake through the night, whispering prayers for their safety, their direction, and their future. I have heard every word. I have seen the silent tears that slipped down your cheeks as you carried a burden only a parent's heart could understand. But today I speak this to you. I am stepping into that gap myself. I am not only covering you, I am covering each of your children, whether they are near or far, whether they are still young or have grown. My protection over them remains unchanged. I am the one who can step into their dreams, speak into their hearts, and lead them along the path of righteousness in ways no human persuasion ever could. Your marriage, the place that has endured cracks, endured silences, and has been threatened by emotional distance, is also in my hands. I have seen the rebellious spirits that once crept silently into conversations, whispering words of doubt, division, and quiet contempt. But now, by the authority of my name, I declare this: every spirit of betrayal, every hidden fracture in your marriage is being severed. I am not merely patching what is broken, I am rebuilding it from the roots. The first love shall be restored, honor and tenderness shall be renewed. And in this healing, you will witness a wonder that I can take ashes and turn them into glory. You will no longer have to live in fear of division, of misunderstanding, or of the uncontrollable. For I, your Lord, am building a heavenly hedge around your heart and your home. No arrow by day, no pestilence by night, no assault from the realm of darkness shall touch you without passing through my sovereign hand. And if I allow a breeze to sweep across your life, it is only to teach you that I still hold the sail. If rain comes, it is because I know you are ready to take root more deeply. But rest assured, nothing occurs outside the bounds of my loving care. My child, imagine your home not covered by walls of brick, but by the eternal promises of your God. Envision every room in your dwelling filled with the radiant light of my presence. Believe that every prayer you've ever whispered, no matter how feeble or trembling, has become a foundational stone in the fortress that now surrounds you. And now I am not only guarding you in the present, but I am also walking ahead of you into your future. My footsteps will guide you through dangers unseen. I will block the blows you're not fast enough to dodge and shield you from battles you're not strong enough to fight. For I am your keeper, and I have never and will never fail in that role. Even when darkness thickens upon the earth, your home will remain a beacon, where the light does not fade. Even when fear is widespread beyond your doors, within your walls there will still be laughter, still be singing, and a peace that cannot be shaken. While other families may be torn apart, your lineage shall stand firm, rooted in my promise. Those who look upon you may not comprehend the source of your unwavering strength, but you will know it is because I am standing guard at your door. I am pushing back the darkness. I am declaring, no farther shall you go. Therefore, my beloved, stand firm. Do not be frightened by what your eyes see or your ears hear. Do not let the noise of circumstances drown out the whisper of my voice. Remember this, I am not only the God who is with you when all is well, I am the same God who remains with you when everything appears to fall apart. And it is in the midst of the storm that you will witness my power most clearly. It is in the trial that you will know my heart most intimately. It is when you are most in need of refuge that you will discover I am not just your fortress. I am the arms that hold you, the place you can run to, your faithful friend, your Father, and your Redeemer. Live with the unshakable confidence that your home belongs to me, your family is my inheritance, your descendants are holy, and you are the one I love, the one I have chosen, the one I cover today, tomorrow, and forevermore. For when I protect, nothing can breach. When I preserve, no power can intrude. And when I speak peace, no storm has authority to stand. All you need to do is keep your heart anchored in trust, and I will fulfill the rest. For the love I have for you is everlasting. My beloved, do not be deceived into thinking that the glory you see now is the final destination. Even if you are standing in a season of blessing, even if you are witnessing the provision of heaven, receiving healing, and experiencing miracles, I still say to you, this is only the first note in the grand symphony I am composing for your life. What you've seen thus far is but a brief flash from eternity, a soft reflection to remind you that I am faithful to my word. But I am also the God who never stops at a single mountaintop. Yes, my child, you have climbed a mountain with steadfast determination. You have reached a summit that you once only dared to dream of. But I did not bring you to this place so you could settle, pitch your tent, and sleep soundly in the memories of your past victories. I brought you here to open your eyes, to help you see the vast vision stretching before you. From where you now stand, I urge you to lift your gaze, beyond temporary satisfaction, beyond what your eyes can see or ears can hear. For in the distance lie unclaimed promised lands, unfinished assignments, and dreams still gestating in your soul, dreams you never dared believe could come true. Do not limit yourself by the achievements you now hold, no matter how great they may seem. I did not call you merely to attain a single goal, but to operate with it in a continuous flow of spiritual expansion. The promises I planted in your heart from the beginning are still waiting to be activated by faith. There are territories of the Spirit still lying dormant, waiting for someone courageous enough to step in and claim them in my name. There are souls yet untouched, generations yet to be awakened, and heavenly gates yet unopened. And you are the one I have chosen to step into the places no one else dared to go. You cannot reach those places if you grow complacent. You cannot go further if your soul chooses the comfort of the familiar. I need you to keep moving, not because I am a God who is never satisfied, but because my love never wants you to settle for less than the fullness I designed for you. You were created to grow, to expand, to radiate my glory from one place to another. If you stop now, your light will begin to dim. But if you press on, that light will become a torch, guiding others out of their darkness. You may ask, haven't I endured enough to get here? Why must I go even further? And this is what I say to you, because greater things are waiting. The miracles you once believed were the destination were only the vehicle to lead you deeper into me. For true satisfaction does not lie in what I give, but in who I am, the giver. And with every step you take, you draw nearer to me, understand more of my heart, and are shaped more into my likeness. So be ready, my child. Equip your heart with faith, for the land ahead is not merely physical, it is spiritual. It is a place where you must learn to wage war through prayer, through immediate obedience, and through sharp discernment. There will be deep valleys, sharp turns, and fast-flowing rivers. There will be days you feel left behind, moments when my presence seems hidden, but do not be deceived by your emotions, for in every circumstance, I am still going before you. I am leveling crooked paths. I am tearing down barriers that once seemed impossible to cross, and I am sowing enduring hope into your heart, anchoring you in the storm. You will not walk alone. What you have learned on the journey thus far has not been in vain. The wounds, the victories, the sweat, the sleepless nights, they are all forging a refined weapon within you for the battles to come. You will no longer fight as a beginner, but as one who has been tempered by fire, who has tasted my faithfulness, and who knows the strength of my abiding presence. This is what will keep you standing, not because you are strong, but because you know the one who goes before you is. I will continue to lead you into new seasons, and each season will have its own rhythm, its own pattern. Do not try to impose old methods on new doors. I will teach you step by step, gently yet firmly. I will show you that what I am doing is not only for you, but also for the community around you, for the generation after you, and for those who are watching your life, even though they have yet to know me. You are a sign. You are the evidence that I am still moving, still speaking, still transforming. So do not hesitate, beloved. Do not look down at your weary feet, but lift your eyes to the one who chartered this path for you. Remember, if I led you up the mountain, I will also give you the strength to pass through the valley. If I have shown you the full picture, I will also provide the strategies to walk out each part. You do not need to understand everything. You only need to trust. As long as you keep walking, the gates of heaven will remain open. As long as you keep believing, the provision from above will continue to flow without ceasing. As long as you remain faithful, you will continue to be a conduit through which miracles are released to others. And when you choose to reject stagnation, I will open a greater door, one you have never dared to knock upon. Let your heart expand to match the vision I have placed within you. Let your every step imprint upon territories no one has ever touched. Let your life become the living proof that when someone dares to believe wholeheartedly, there are no limits. And remember this, no matter how many hills you must climb or how many rivers you must cross, I am the one who walks with you, who lifts you up, and who always goes before you. This is not the end, my child. This is only the beginning of something deeper, higher, and more glorious. And I have chosen you to write the next chapter through your very footsteps, through your unwavering faith, and through the unchanging love I have planted deep within your heart. So walk forward, confident that heaven is cheering you on, that I am leading the way, and that a greater glory still awaits you ahead. My beloved, I have searched the depths of your heart. I know every longing, every wound, and even the silent aches that go unspoken but weigh heavily on your soul. I have seen the moments when you tried to smile while your heart was breaking. I have witnessed the times you asked in quiet desperation, "Can I begin again?" Today I speak to you with a love that does not waver, with a wisdom that surpasses all human understanding. You will never have to walk that same old road again. No more wandering down paths paved with regret and pain. No more restless nights reliving what was. No more soul-draining cycles that left you weary and dry. I have brought that cycle to an end. I have shut the doors that no longer breathe life. I have broken the loop of your past to lead you into a journey you never dared to dream of, but one I have designed for you since the beginning of time. The path I am unfolding before you is not merely a road to beautiful destinations, it is a journey of resurrection. Everything along this way, from the trials to the triumphs, from the dark valleys to the radiant peaks, serves a singular purpose: to form you into the very one I envisioned while you were still in your mother's womb. I am making all things new, not just around you, but within you. A heart that is healed, a mind that is renewed, a soul set free from the bondage of what once was. And as you move forward, do not fear losing your way, for I am going ahead of you, leveling the winding turns, lifting up the low places, and smoothing the rough edges. You will feel my hand not only upon you, but upholding every step you take. When you grow weak, I will be your strength. When words fail you in prayer, I will be the groaning lifted as fragrant incense before my throne. And when the path seems invisible, I will be the light that breaks through your uncertainty. My child, I never promised that every day would be without rain, but I do promise to be the umbrella that shields you in every storm. I never said the winds wouldn't come, but I do promise you will not be overtaken. For I am the one who stood with you in the fire, and the flames did not consume you, who walked with you in the waters, and they did not overwhelm you. And if I was with you then, you can rest assured I will continue to be with you through every day that is still to come. The steps you are now taking are no longer hesitant strides in the dark, but each rhythm of your walk is illuminated by the light of heaven. You are walking on the path of covenant, where every stone beneath your feet has been placed by my love. Every turn has been drawn by my wisdom, and every door is being opened by my own powerful hand. Do not doubt what I have prepared, for it far surpasses human imagination and every limited plan conceived by earthly minds. You are about to enter a season where joy is no longer a fleeting moment, but a way of life. A joy that does not come from circumstances, but from my abiding presence. You will come to know an unshakable peace, a peace that is not built on human words or shaken by events, but established upon the solid rock that is me. And there you will live not only with purpose, but with a profound inner fulfillment. No more wavering, no more wandering, no more being torn between what is right and what is easy. You will walk with a clarity that comes from above, and your heart will know, this is the path you were born to walk. Look back, my child, and you will see everything that has passed, whether good or bad, has led you to this very moment. No pain was ever meaningless. No failure was ever final. No tear was ever forgotten. I have gathered them all and used them to write a new chapter for you. A chapter that does not begin with sorrow, but with hope. Not built by solitary effort, but by the companionship of my Holy Spirit. This is not merely a new path. It is a new life, a redefinition of what success truly means. A new lens through which you will understand significance. A desire stirred not by selfish ambition, but by the call of heaven. You will do things you never thought you could do. You will step into places you once only dared to admire from a distance. You will speak words that as they leave your mouth, you will know, this is not me. This is the Holy Spirit moving through me. My beloved child, I now invite you to open your heart wide to receive a new expectation. Not the kind born of vague hopes or forced optimism, but an expectation birthed from my living word, from the unwavering love of the one who created all things. Do not be afraid to hope. Do not hold back your dreams. Do not suppress the deep longings within your heart just because the past has disappointed you. For I say to you, what I have prepared for you goes far beyond what you've ever dared to ask for, even beyond what you've ever dared to imagine. You have not reached the end of what I desire to do, my child. In truth, you are standing at the edge of a new beginning, a place where miracles will no longer be limited to your own life, but will ripple outward like waves, touching your family, each member, each soul, each story. I have seen the quiet prayers you've whispered on behalf of your loved ones. I have heard the sighs of your soul when you wondered if they would ever truly come to know me. And today I want you to know, not a single heartfelt prayer goes unnoticed. Not a single tear of genuine love is ever overlooked. I have engraved them upon the palms of my hands, and the time of their fulfillment is drawing near. Let your heart be set ablaze with hope. Do not measure your loved one's transformation by what your eyes can see, but believe in the surpassing power of my Spirit. There are hearts that seem frozen, yet with just one encounter with my light, they will begin to melt. There are minds that seem resistant, but with just one moment of hearing my voice, they will begin to change. You do not need to do everything for them. You need only to continue interceding, to keep loving, and to keep believing. The rest I myself will do. I am calling out to each member of your household. They do not need to come to me in perfection. They do not need to understand every doctrine. There is only one thing I ask of them, the courage to take the first step. And when they begin walking toward me, I will not stand still. I will run toward them with arms wide open. No judgment, no condemnation, only welcome, only the pure, unwavering love of a father who has been longing for his child. As they draw near to me, I will not let them remain on the surface of religion. I will lead them into the deep places where I am no longer a distant idea, but a living presence they can encounter daily. They will not merely hear about me through sermons and teachings, but will feel me in their very breath of prayer. I will reveal to them who I truly am, not a God far away, but a God who is near, a God who seeks to meet them in the smallest details of their everyday lives. I will pour out upon them the knowledge that comes from my Spirit, a spiritual discernment the world cannot give and cannot imitate. They will begin to see me in what once seemed insignificant. They will hear my voice through the simple things. They will sense my presence in moments that appear ordinary, and it will be through those moments that they enter into real relationship with me. A journey of communion, not based on theory, but built within the reality of daily life. My child, do not be quick to conclude anything about your loved ones just because you haven't seen visible change. Trust that what I am doing in their hearts is beyond what the eye can perceive. I am sowing within them tiny seeds of awakening. Every loving word you speak, every act of forgiveness you extend, every time you choose patience over frustration, it is all part of the preparation for the harvest I am bringing to their souls. Do not lose heart. Do not give up. I have never stopped working. I love your family more than you could ever love them, and I have already ordained that they will enter into deep intimacy with me. You may be the first in your household to awaken spiritually, but you will not be the last. I will open their eyes. I will awaken their souls. I will use your very life as a living letter to declare that I am real, that my love transforms, that my power heals and restores, even to the deepest roots. And when they come, beloved, nothing will remain the same. Your family will no longer be just a unit in society, but will become a living altar where my name is lifted high. Each meal will become a gathering of worship. Every blessing spoken will become a prophecy for generations to come. Every room in your home will be a resting place for my presence. My love will saturate every relationship, every conversation, every painful memory, and transform it all into sacred ground for healing. Picture a day when your whole family bows in prayer, not out of habit, but from genuine hunger. A day when forgiveness is spoken without bitterness. A day when the unseen fractures in relationships are mended by truth and grace. A day when generations sit beside each other, not only by blood, but by the Spirit. That day will come, my child, because I have begun a good work, and I am the one who will bring it to completion. So live like one who awaits a great harvest. Love as if the change has already taken place. Serve as if the promise has already been fulfilled. Tell yourself every day, my God, not only can He will. And when you do that, you are partnering with heaven to make a way for miracles to enter your home and your lineage. My child, I do not promise that every journey will be brief, but I do promise that I will walk with you to the very end, not only with you, but with those you love. I am the God not only of individuals, but of families. I am the provider not just for the one who begins, but also for those who follow. And I, the faithful one, am calling your entire household into this journey with a first step, with a single response, with a heart wide open. And when they do, I will take their hands and lead them all the way, without abandoning them, without changing my mind, without delay. My beloved, if these words reached into places no one else has touched, if something awakened in you, if peace began to settle where fear once ruled, then know this: I'm not finished. This wasn't just a message, it was a divine appointment, a holy beginning. Come back here, not just to hear more, but to receive more. For each time you return, I will meet you again. I will go deeper. I will reveal more of who you are and more of what I've always seen in you. So stay connected, not to content, but to communion. Not for updates, but for alignment. Subscribe so you don't miss the next time I whisper through this space. Turn on reminders, not to be notified, but to be near. And share this, not for applause, but to release a word that someone else is silently praying for. This is more than a channel, it's a sanctuary, a meeting place for weary souls and a launching ground for awakened hearts. Return, and I will be here, waiting to speak again. Because I am the God who begins and completes, and I am not done with you. Not by far, amen.